Hey guys, so I got the question or variations on the question of I'm not planning to open my practice for a few years or a year or several months, most of a year. What can I be doing now? There are a lot of reasons that people are waiting to open private practices. It might be that in their state they need to be fully licensed. It might be that they're in grad school right now. Every now and then I'll talk to somebody who they're almost at the 10 years at their job and there's a student loan repayment. We'll talk about that in another Facebook Live. I encourage you, if you're waiting at a job for student loan repayment, that you do some research around the percentage of people who are actually getting their student loans repaid. It's 1%. That's a whole other conversation. I'm going to be focused. So if you're not planning to open for whatever reason, maybe you're about to move, whatever, my top few tips for getting everything ready so that go time makes it easier. First, I go ahead and get started on your website. You don't have to say anything about services. You can start blogging or vlogging or doing some sort of content marketing on that website. There doesn't need to be a call to action. You don't need to be directing people anywhere at this stage if you don't have anywhere to direct them to. But you can start kind of building your SEO in that way. That's your search engine optimization, your Google ability. You can start building some credibility in some ways by showing yourself as an expert. And that way, in the future, when you do have a practice and people are checking out your website, they see that you've been around for a little while, that you've got all this great content for them. I would blog or vlog at least once a month, but ideally once a week, but most importantly, consistently. So just make sure that whichever you choose, it is consistent. I'd also, if you don't already have the free checklist, start going through the checklist and checking off the parts that you can check off now. You can find that at abundancepracticebuilding.com/checklist. Sometimes people ask me if they should join the Abundance Party if it's going to be a year or so before they start their practice, and I would say probably not. I would wait until it's closer to time, at most maybe 6 months out, and that way, if you're an information gatherer, like I like to know all the things before I jump. So if you're an information gatherer, I'd do something like joining the party 6 months before, maybe 3 months before, depending. But another thing you can do besides working on your website and content marketing, you can also be networking. So going ahead and developing relationships with some people in your area who may be future referral sources. I have a webinar that I do sometimes. If you kind of keep your ears and eyes open, you'll see it. It's called How to Not Hate Networking. It's also in the Abundance Party all the time, but I'll be rolling that out a few times this year. And that should give you some good ideas of how to get more comfortable with networking so that it doesn't feel schmoozy or cheap or gross, so that it feels like meeting new friends. I hope that that's helpful. I say keep it simple. Most of the time when people are not starting for an extended period of time, it's because they've got other stuff on their plate, whether it's full-time work or school or maternity leave or whatever. So focus on what you're doing right now. Do some of this on the side to build as you go, and you'll be solid. Take care.